Hello, students. This is Cameron Price, and this is my content area lesson plan. And this is going to be a lesson with different objectives and activities and stuff and strategies that y'all can use to help you learn about the topic of swine breeds. And of course, I got it right here. The topic is swine breeds that we'll be covering. And the resource you're going to be reading it deals with raising pigs. It is called Story's Guide to Raising Pigs, the fourth edition, Care, Facilities, and Management. And as you can see here, here's a visual of it. I'll zoom in real quick. That's going to be the cover of it, and then that's just one of the pages showing that it has visuals and text in it. And moving to the next thing in the lesson is content area vocabulary, or 5 vocabulary terms you're going to use in the lesson. These are swine enterprise, purebred, breed association, Duroc, and Hampshire, and those all come from the resource text I just mentioned. And y'all be learning about that with different strategies I'll be doing to help y'all learn. But the independent learning strategy that I think y'all can learn from and use is called the KIM strategy, or KIM strategy. You're going to list the key term, information, or the definition in a memory cue of each of those 5 vocabulary words, and that's going to help you memorize the words and learn about them in different ways, because you can learn about the multiple uses and come up with something that helps you memorize them, or the memory cue. Down here, I did a made example of the vocabulary strategy using one of the terms. I used the term purebred that goes under K for key term. The information of it is a pig bred from parents that are both registered members of the same breed, so that'll go under the I. And then under the M is a memory cue thing, just something that's going to help you remember it personally. So I did a picture of a Duroc boar and a picture of a Duroc gilt bred together because they're both registered member of the same breed the parents are, and it comes out to a purebred baby pig hitting the information on the head. And then another thing you can memorize it by is pure and bred. Bred means to breed something, so there's going to be a baby, and then pure means not mixed, so you'd have 2 of the same things. So that'd be another memory cue. And once again, that's the KIM strategy for some of the content area vocabulary in this lesson. The next thing we're going to do, you're going to have different reading phrases, phases. You're going to have the before reading, during reading, and then after reading down here. And you're going to have a different strategy for each one. And I'll go over that real quick. The before reading strategy is called an anticipation guide. Basically, I'm going to have questions that I pulled from some of the I didn't pull from the text, but questions I think that'll help y'all think about the topic, and you're gonna say yes or no, whether you agree or disagree in a way with these statements, and then whether you agree or not, you're gonna write the reason for your agreement or disagreement. That's gonna be an anticipation, something you do before the reading, pulling prior knowledge, and just seeing what you know so far. The during reading strategy, this is what you're going to do with your peers and not with me as a teacher. As you're reading, you're going to collectively take notes, and then I'm going to give you a piece of printer paper. You write the question I give you, which is, in this case for the example, what characteristics allow swine breeds to be identified? And then each one of you will be in groups of 4, will have a sticky note, and you put your sticky note in whatever corner you want, and you answer that question individually, just whatever you think matches to it. And then you look at all the answers as a group and you decide the best group answer. And so that's a during reading strategy, because you're analyzing that question as you go while you're reading with your peers. And then a strategy that you do with a teacher, with help of a teacher, is called think alouds. So y'all be individually reading and listening to me, and I'll be going over things I think of the text, and I'll actually call upon y'all with some of these questions, like, do you understand the difficult sentence you just read? Do you need to reread it? And I'll be using some of those strategies as well, which goes under the think aloud method for the during reading with help from the teacher. And then after reading strategy, this is going to kind of reflect on some of the stuff. Literature circles, you're going to break up in groups of 4, and each person will have a role: discussion director, connection maker, word wizard, or summarizer. And all these things right here has a different duty of what you need to do. And that's going to let you look back and assess over the what you're learning after you read it. And then the assessments, you'll be kind of quizzed in a way during, which is formative, with the swine breeds chart. This is just as you go, you're making a chart with 5 different breeds with some of their characteristics. It's explained up here in the actual lesson plan that y'all get. And that's going to be kind of testing your knowledge as you go, so I can see what I need to touch on or what you're learning effectively. And then a summative assessment, which is just going to be an end of topic exam. It's going to be made up of multiple choice, true or false, matching, and a short answer. And that's just going to assess you at the end of the whole lesson. It'll let me see what all y'all learned, and this is going to be a major test grade, so it is pretty important. It'll let me see what you learned, how you combine all the vocabulary, strategies, different reading phases, strategies all together, and just see your overall knowledge. And then last but not least, the purpose of this lesson and reading the supplemental resource text, or that this Raising Pigs Swine Guide, is for you to gain accurate and up-to-date information on common swine breeds, management of swine farms, and production within the swine industry or enterprise. And this is going to help you maybe learn more about a career path you want to take, or just learn more about agriculture in general. And the reason you're going to read this book in particular is because it's nonfiction, so it has a bunch of good information. It's up to date, then it matches visuals with the information it gives. And once again, this was Cameron Price with your lesson over the topic of swine breeds. Thanks.